the most evil actors from Hollywood's golden age.
I'm going to get the crap suit out of me, Mickey.
No, I'm not.
Hollywood's golden age is often remembered for its glamorous stars and groundbreaking films. However, behind the scenes, some of its most beloved figures had darker, more controversial lives. This article delves into the off-screen behaviors and scandals of 11 iconic actors from this era. From Wallace Beery's violent tendencies to Charlie Chaplin's legal and political troubles, we explore the complexities and contradictions of these legendary personalities. Their stories reveal that the allure of Hollywood's golden years often masked a reality far less enchanting. Wallace Beery.
Here in early 1930, he's living real-life drama as he's made Lieutenant Commander in Naval Reserve. It's well-deserved honor for Wallace Beery.
Wallace Beery, born on April 1, 1885, in Clay County, Missouri, was a versatile and talented actor known for his roles in silent films and early talkies. He began his career in the circus before transitioning to vaudeville and eventually to Hollywood, where he became a prominent figure during the silent film era. Beery's breakthrough came with the role of Bill in The Champ, 1931, for which he won the Academy Award for Best Actor. Despite his success on screen, Beery's off-screen life was marred by numerous controversies that painted a darker picture of the beloved actor. Beery's reputation for violent behavior and abusive conduct was well known in Hollywood circles. One of the most notorious incidents involved the death of comedian Ted Healy in 1937. Healy, known for creating the comedy group The Three Stooges, died under mysterious circumstances following a physical altercation. Rumors swirled that Beery, along with two others, had been involved in a drunken brawl with Healy the night he died. Although no charges were ever filed, the suspicion lingered, casting a shadow over Beery's career. Aside from this incident, Beery was known for his difficult and aggressive nature on set. Co-stars and crew members often described him as a bully who used his physical presence to intimidate others. Actress Marjorie Main, who worked with Beery in several films, once remarked, "Wallace Beery was a brute. He was awful to work with." His temper and unprofessional behavior led to numerous conflicts with directors and fellow actors, contributing to his reputation as one of Hollywood's most challenging stars. Beery's personal life was equally tumultuous. He was married twice, both marriages ending in divorce amidst allegations of domestic violence and infidelity. His second wife, actress Rita Gilman, accused him of being physically abusive, a claim that further tarnished his public image. Additionally, Beery's relationships with his children were strained, with reports suggesting that he was a domineering and often cruel father. Despite these controversies, Beery's talent and on-screen charisma kept him in high demand. His ability to portray both comedic and dramatic roles earned him a place among Hollywood's elite, even as his off-screen behavior made him a pariah in some circles. His legacy remains a complex one, marked by both his significant contributions to early cinema and the darker aspects of his personal life. Walter Brennan.
A great belief in the fact that someday that I would get a break, and I prayed. I'm a great believer in prayer. I believe it can do wonders with prayer, and I still believe this. Now I pray, but I pray in thankfulness. Thanks from
Walter Brennan, born on July 25, 1894, in Lynn, Massachusetts, was one of Hollywood's most recognizable character actors, known for his distinct voice and ability to portray grizzled, wise, or eccentric old men. Brennan enjoyed a prolific career, winning 3 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor for his roles in Come and Get It, 1936, Kentucky, 1938, and The Westerner, 1940. Despite his cinematic success and amiable on-screen persona, Brennan's off-screen reputation was marred by his outspoken political views and controversial statements. Brennan's career spanned several decades, during which he appeared in numerous iconic films and television shows. His roles in Red River, 1948, alongside John Wayne and Rio Bravo, 1959, cemented his status as a staple in westerns. However, his off-screen life painted a different picture. Brennan was known for his staunch conservative beliefs, which often bordered on extreme. He was an ardent supporter of Senator Joseph McCarthy and his anti-communist crusade during the 1950s. Brennan's fervent anti-communist stance led him to make several inflammatory remarks that alienated many in Hollywood. One of the most notorious aspects of Brennan's off-screen behavior was his alleged racism and bigotry. Several accounts suggest that Brennan harbored deep-seated prejudices, which he did not shy away from expressing. For instance, he was known to be vehemently opposed to the civil rights movement and often made derogatory remarks about African Americans. These views, coupled with his vocal support for McCarthyism, made him a polarizing figure in Hollywood. Brennan's personal life also had its share of controversies. He was described by colleagues as a difficult person to work with due to his rigid and uncompromising nature. Actress Katharine Hepburn once commented, "Walter Brennan was a fine actor, but his personal beliefs were something else entirely. His uncompromising stance on political issues often led to conflicts on set, and his reputation as a divisive figure overshadowed his professional achievements." Despite these controversies, Brennan's talent and distinctive presence kept him in demand throughout his career. His ability to bring depth and authenticity to his characters earned him a lasting legacy in the film industry. Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney, born Joseph Yule Jr. on September 23, 1920, in Brooklyn, New York, was a child star who transitioned into a long and varied career in Hollywood. With a career that spanned 9 decades, Rooney became a household name with roles in the Andy Hardy series, National Velvet, 1944, and Babes in Arms, 1939. Despite his talent and success, Rooney's off-screen life was filled with controversy, marked by tumultuous relationships and financial woes. Rooney's early career was characterized by his energetic performances and boyish charm, which endeared him to audiences and made him one of MGM's biggest stars. However, his personal life was far less stable. Rooney was married 8 times, with each marriage ending in scandal or acrimony. His first wife, Ava Gardner, was one of Hollywood's most glamorous actresses. Their marriage was short-lived, ending due to Rooney's infidelity and irresponsible behavior. Gardner once said, "Mickey was like a hurricane. There was no stopping him." His subsequent marriages were similarly fraught with issues, including allegations of abuse, financial irresponsibility, and constant infidelity. In addition to his turbulent personal relationships, Rooney struggled with financial mismanagement. Despite earning millions during his career, he declared bankruptcy multiple times. His lavish spending habits and poor financial decisions left him in dire straits on several occasions. In later years, Rooney spoke candidly about his financial struggles, saying, "I've been broke more times than you can count, but I've always found a way to bounce back." This cycle of wealth and poverty underscored the instability that plagued much of his life. Rooney's professional behavior also came under scrutiny. He was known for his erratic temperament and could be difficult to work with. His co-star from The Black Stallion, 1979, Terry Garr, described him as a handful on set, but also acknowledged his undeniable talent. Despite these challenges, Rooney continued to work prolifically, adapting to television, stage, and voice acting in his later years. Rooney's legacy is a complex one, balancing his immense contributions to entertainment with his often chaotic personal life. His ability to reinvent himself and continue working despite numerous setbacks is a testament to his resilience and talent. Bette Davis. Bette Davis, born on April 5, 1908, in Lowell, Massachusetts, was one of the most formidable and talented actresses of Hollywood's golden age. Known for her intense and often unglamorous portrayals of complex characters, Davis enjoyed a career that spanned over 5 decades, earning her 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress for her roles in Dangerous, 1935, and Jezebel, 1938. Her legacy as a trailblazer for women in the film industry is undisputed, but her off-screen reputation was fraught with feuds, difficult working relationships, and personal controversies. Davis's career was marked by a series of high-profile disputes with studios, directors, and co-stars. She was famously outspoken and unafraid to stand up for herself, which often led to conflicts. One of her most well-known feuds was with actress Joan Crawford, with whom she starred in the 1962 film Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. The animosity between the two was legendary, both on and off the set. Davis once quipped about Crawford, "The best time I ever had with Joan Crawford was when I pushed her down the stairs in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane." Their mutual disdain was a constant source of tabloid fodder, contributing to Davis's reputation as difficult and contentious.
She went through all the New York nominees and said, if you can't get out there, I'll accept your award. And please do not vote for her. She was so jealous. She was a fool, my dear. We had a great percentage. If I had won that Oscar, we'd have made $1 million more on the film. That's what always happens. So she wasn't very smart about it.
Beyond her professional feuds, Davis's personal life was equally tumultuous. She was married 4 times, with each marriage ending in divorce. Her relationships were often marred by allegations of infidelity, abuse, and bitterness. Her second husband, Arthur Farnsworth, died under mysterious circumstances, leading to speculation and rumors about their troubled marriage. Davis's volatile temper and domineering personality were well documented, and she often found herself at the center of controversy, both in her personal and professional life. Despite these challenges, Davis's talent and dedication to her craft were undeniable. She was known for her meticulous preparation and commitment to her roles, which often translated into stellar performances. However, her intense approach to acting sometimes alienated those she worked with. Director William Wyler, who collaborated with Davis on several films, once said, "Bette Davis is a great actress, but she can be very difficult." This duality of being both admired for her talent and criticized for her temperament made Davis a complex and often polarizing figure in Hollywood. Gene Kelly. Gene Kelly, born on August 23, 1912, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, was a celebrated dancer, actor, and director who brought a dynamic athleticism to his performances, revolutionizing the musical genre in Hollywood. Known for his roles in classic films like Singin' in the Rain, 1952, An American in Paris, 1951, and On the Town, 1949. Kelly's energetic and innovative choreography set him apart as a true pioneer. However, behind the charming on-screen persona, Kelly's reputation was often overshadowed by his demanding nature and perfectionism on set. Kelly's career took off in the 1940s, and he quickly became one of Hollywood's top musical stars. His work in Singin' in the Rain, particularly the iconic dance sequence, showcased his incredible talent and has become legendary in film history. Despite these achievements, Kelly was known to be a hard taskmaster, often pushing himself and his colleagues to their limit. His perfectionism sometimes translated into a harsh and intimidating presence on set. Debbie Reynolds, who co-starred with Kelly in Singin' in the Rain, once described the experience as grueling, noting that Kelly could be exceptionally demanding and critical. Reynolds said, "Gene Kelly was a taskmaster. He came from a dance background where it was important to get everything right. It was tough, but I learned a lot, and it's likely he learned some of this behavior from his mother."
When she would get angry, she'd say, "Eugene?" And then I knew she was mad, and I'd stick to her. Even when I was in college, even that old, if she'd say, "Eugene," I knew she would really burn at me.
Kelly's personal life also had its share of controversies. He was married 3 times, with his first marriage to actress Betsy Blair ending in divorce amidst rumors of infidelity. Kelly's intense focus on his work often left little room for personal relationships, leading to strains and conflicts. Additionally, his political views occasionally brought him into the spotlight. Kelly was known for his liberal stance in support of progressive causes, which sometimes put him at odds with more conservative figures in Hollywood. Despite these challenges, Kelly's contributions to film and dance were immense. His innovative choreography and charismatic performances left an indelible mark on the industry, influencing countless performers and filmmakers. Kelly's legacy as a pioneering figure in musical cinema is well-deserved, even as his demanding nature and personal controversies add complexity to his story. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin, born on April 16, 1889, in London, England, is one of the most iconic figures in cinematic history. Renowned for his role as the Little Tramp, Chaplin's blend of humor and pathos in silent films like The Kid, 1921, City Lights, 1931, and Modern Times, 1936, solidified his place as a pioneer of early cinema. However, Chaplin's off-screen life was riddled with controversy, marked by scandalous relationships, political scrutiny, and legal battles that painted a much darker picture than his charming on-screen persona suggested. Chaplin's career began in British vaudeville before he made his way to Hollywood, where he quickly rose to fame with his distinctive character and innovative filmmaking techniques. Despite his professional success, Chaplin's personal life was fraught with turmoil. He was married 4 times, and his relationships were often scandalous due to the significant age differences and the young ages of his wives. His marriage to Lita Grey, who was 16 when they wed and 12 years his junior, ended in a bitter and highly publicized divorce that included accusations of infidelity and abuse. Grey's claims and the subsequent media frenzy severely damaged Chaplin's reputation. In addition to his tumultuous relationships, Chaplin's political views brought him under intense scrutiny. During the Red Scare of the 1940s and 1950s, his left-leaning beliefs and alleged communist sympathies made him a target of the U.S. government. Chaplin's vocal criticism of capitalism and support for socialist causes drew the ire of influential figures in Hollywood and Washington. His film, The Great Dictator, 1940, a satirical take on Adolf Hitler and Nazism, showcased his political boldness, but also contributed to his controversial image. In 1952, while on a trip to England, Chaplin was denied re-entry to the United States due to his political views, effectively exiling him from Hollywood. Chaplin's legal troubles further complicated his legacy. He faced a paternity suit in 1943 from actress Joan Barry, who claimed that Chaplin was the father of her child. Despite conclusive blood tests proving otherwise, the court ruled in Barry's favor, and Chaplin was ordered to pay child support. This case, coupled with his political controversies and tumultuous personal life, painted Chaplin as a figure mired in scandal. John Wayne.
Once you make a picture, of our legendary cowboy, the American public and the world public want to see it.
John Wayne, born Marion Robert Morrison on May 26, 1907, in Winterset, Iowa, was one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, renowned for his roles in westerns and war films. American Masculinity, starring in classics like Stagecoach, 1939, The Searchers, 1956, and True Grit, 1969, for which he won an Academy Award. Despite his on-screen heroism, Wayne's off-screen persona was often controversial, marked by his outspoken political views and allegations of bigotry. Wayne's career was defined by his collaborations with directors like John Ford and Howard Hawks, which produced some of the most memorable films in American cinema. His portrayal of stoic, tough characters resonated with audiences, earning him a place as a cultural icon. However, Wayne's personal beliefs and public statements frequently drew criticism. He was a fervent anti-communist and a vocal supporter of the Vietnam War, positions that polarized public opinion during the turbulent 1960s and 1970s. In a 1971 interview with Playboy magazine, Wayne made several inflammatory remarks about race and politics, saying, "I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility." Such statements reflected the deep-seated prejudices that alienated many of his contemporaries and fans. Wayne's personal life was also complex. He was married 3 times, with each marriage ending in divorce. His relationships were often troubled, marked by infidelity and a demanding nature. Wayne's staunchly conservative views and public support for controversial causes further strained his personal and professional relationships. His friendship with fellow actor Ward Bond, another staunch conservative, was often cited as an example of Wayne's close ties to like-minded individuals in Hollywood. Despite these associations, Wayne's political and social views frequently put him at odds with the progressive movements of his time. Despite the controversies, Wayne's impact on Hollywood and American culture remained significant. His portrayal of the American cowboy and soldier has become ingrained in the national consciousness, influencing generations of actors and filmmakers. Wayne's legacy is a complicated one, balancing his significant contributions to film with the less savory aspects of his personal beliefs and public statements. Frank Fay. Frank Fay, born on November 17, 1891, in San Francisco, California, was a vaudeville star and actor who made a significant impact on early Hollywood. Known for his quick wit and smooth delivery, Fay was considered one of the best comedians of his time. His career in film, though not as illustrious as his stage work, included notable performances in movies like Under a Texas Moon, 1930, and God's Gift to Women, 1931. However, Fay's off-screen life and behavior often overshadowed his professional achievements, marking him as one of the most disliked figures in Hollywood. Fay's career was characterized by his exceptional talent for stand-up comedy, which paved the way for his transition to films. Despite his skills, Fay's arrogance and abrasive personality made him difficult to work with. He was known for his temper and often clashed with colleagues. His marriage to actress Barbara Stanwyck was tumultuous and ultimately ended in divorce. Fay's abusive behavior towards Stanwyck was well documented, with reports indicating that he was both physically and emotionally abusive. This behavior not only tarnished his reputation, but also had a lasting impact on Stanwyck, who went on to have a highly successful career despite the turmoil she endured with Fay. Fay's personal life was riddled with controversy beyond his marriage. He was notorious for his drinking and combative nature, which frequently led to altercations both on and off the set. His arrogance was legendary. He was known to belittle and insult those he deemed inferior. Fellow comedian Milton Berle once said, "Frank Fay was a brilliant performer, but he was also a real son of a bitch. He alienated everyone he worked with." Despite his significant contributions to early comedy and his influence on future generations of comedians, Fay's legacy is tainted by his abusive and egotistical behavior. His talent could not compensate for his lack of humility and respect for others, which ultimately limited the extent of his success in Hollywood. William Frawley.
Excuse me, are you the owner of this place?
Owners don't carry brooms. I'm a trainer.
William Frawley, born on February 26, 1887, in Burlington, Iowa, is best remembered for his role as Fred Mertz on the classic television sitcom I Love Lucy. With a career that spanned vaudeville, film, and television, Frawley became a beloved figure in American entertainment. However, behind the scenes, his off-screen behavior and personal issues often overshadowed his professional achievements. Frawley's early career began in vaudeville, where he honed his comedic skills before transitioning to film in the 1930s. He appeared in numerous movies, often in supporting roles, but it was his portrayal of the grumpy landlord Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy that brought him widespread fame. Despite the show's success, Frawley's behavior on set was frequently problematic. He was known for his heavy drinking, which sometimes affected his work. His co-star, Vivian Vance, who played his on-screen wife, Ethel Mertz, reportedly detested him. Their off-screen relationship was strained, with Vance once saying, "I loathed William Frawley, and the feeling was mutual." Their mutual animosity required careful management by the show's producers to maintain the show's success. Frawley's alcoholism was a significant issue throughout his career. He often showed up on set under the influence, leading to erratic behavior and difficulties in filming. His drinking not only impacted his professional life, but also his personal relationships. Despite his talent, his inability to control his drinking led to numerous lost opportunities and strained relationships within the industry. In addition to his struggles with alcohol, Frawley had a reputation for being difficult to work with. He was known for his temper and could be abrasive with colleagues. This behavior further alienated him from his peers, making his successful collaborations all the more remarkable. Despite these personal challenges, Frawley's work on I Love Lucy left a lasting legacy, and his character remains one of the most memorable in television history. Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson, born on October 23, 1925, in Corning, Iowa, became a television icon as the host of The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, a position he held for 3 decades from 1962 to 1992. Known for his quick wit, charm, and impeccable timing, Carson transformed late-night television and became a beloved figure in American households. Despite his on-screen affability, Carson's off-screen life was marred by a reputation for being difficult, vindictive, and often deeply private. Carson's rise to fame began with his work as a television writer and host in the 1950s, leading to his breakthrough on The Tonight Show. His ability to connect with audiences and celebrities alike made him a staple of late-night TV. However, those who worked closely with Carson often painted a different picture. He was known for his exacting standards and could be ruthless with those who failed to meet them. Joan Rivers, once a regular guest host and protege, experienced Carson's wrath firsthand when she launched her own competing talk show. Carson never spoke to her again, a testament to his unforgiving nature. Carson's personal life was equally tumultuous. He was married 4 times, with each marriage ending in divorce. His relationships were plagued by infidelity and substance abuse. His second wife, Joan Crawford, described him as a very complex man who struggled with alcohol and often displayed a darker side behind closed doors. Carson's heavy drinking was no secret, and it contributed to his often volatile behavior. His temper and sharp tongue made him both feared and respected by those around him. Despite his personal flaws, Carson's professional legacy is significant. He was a master of his craft, known for his ability to navigate interviews with ease and bring out the best in his guests. His influence on television is undeniable, and many of today's late-night hosts cite him as a major inspiration. Carson's ability to balance humor with genuine moments of human connection set a standard for late-night television that endures to this day. Walt Disney. Walt Disney, born on December 5, 1901 in Chicago, Illinois, is celebrated as the visionary behind the iconic Disney brand, responsible for creating some of the most beloved characters and films in history. Disney's journey from a small-time animator to the head of a global entertainment empire is a testament to his creativity, determination, and business acumen. However, behind the fairy tale facade of his creations, Disney's life and career were marked by controversies, allegations of bigotry, and a reputation for being a ruthless businessman. Disney's early career was fraught with financial difficulties and setbacks. He co-founded the Disney Brothers studio with his brother Roy in 1923, and the creation of Mickey Mouse in 1928 marked a turning point in their fortunes. The success of Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse's first sound cartoon, catapulted Disney to fame. Over the following decades, he produced groundbreaking films such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937, the first full-length animated feature, and later classics like Cinderella, 1950, and Sleeping Beauty, 1959. Despite these successes, Disney's reputation as a harsh and demanding employer grew. He was known for his intense work ethic and high expectations, often driving his employees to their limits. Animator Art Babbitt once said, "He was the toughest, most demanding man I've ever worked for." Disney's personal views and political activities also drew significant criticism. He was accused of being anti-Semitic, although these claims remain a matter of debate. Animator David Swift, who worked closely with Disney, stated, "Walt was no saint, but the idea that he was anti-Semitic is absurd." Nevertheless, Disney's association with groups like the Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals, an organization known for its conservative and anti-communist stance, fueled these perceptions. His involvement in the Hollywood blacklist during the McCarthy era, where he testified against alleged communists, further tarnished his public image. Moreover, Disney's portrayal of racial and ethnic stereotypes in some of his early films has been a long-standing point of contention. Films like Dumbo, 1941, and Song of the South, 1946, have been criticized for their insensitive depictions of African Americans and other ethnic groups. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these celebs was most surprising to hear about? Let us know in the comments section below.